Now, the ANC has extended the deadline to elect delegates and nominate NEC members ahead of the December National Elective Conference. The party says the new electronic membership system, for instance, is one of the challenges causing those delays. So what can we tell from the branch general meetings that have already sat, if anything at all? Well, let's discuss this further with the party's national spokesperson, Pule Mabe, who joins us in studio. Thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. Did load shedding have anything to do with disrupting the BGM sittings?
Well, morning, Maseko, and morning to your viewers. Of course, load shedding does have an impact as well, because the new membership system that we have introduced after the 54th National Conference relies on network.
Yeah.
And you would know yourself that sometimes during occurrences of load shedding, you do have network glitches. But we're encouraged by what we've been seeing over this past weekend. Most of our branches, because we also did attribute this to the fact that most branch secretaries are new.
Yeah.
And this observation was made when our Treasurer General, acting on behalf of the Secretary General's office, met with provincial secretaries on the 27th of September, just this past Tuesday. They made that kind of an observation and arrived at a conclusion that perhaps we should extend the cut-off date for BGMs, for nominating BGMs, to the 25th of September, to give our branches sufficient time, but to also allow those in our structures who are working and acting as scanners, because there must be a person who is assigned the task of being a branch scanner. Most of the time it's your branch secretaries. They've got to know how the system works. So it's easier. Actually, it's much, much better than what we used to do in the past. By the time you finish your BGM, your records, everything are already uploaded on the cloud, which then allows Comrade Khalima, as the chair of the Electoral Committee, to be able to consolidate.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that by the 15th of November, that consolidation would have been done. And the Electoral Committee is the only body that has got that kind of authority to be able to pronounce themselves.
But it doesn't look like we'll be out of the woods with load shedding.
Well, of course, that's hence there are a number of things that we are looking at, including allowing the system, where possible, to be able to operate even offline for as long as it will be able to transmit the data there.
Yeah.
So those things, it's part of what our own organizing team, working with the relevant technical teams, are really working on.
And the strike pertaining to salary payments, did that also contribute?
Well, it does have an impact. You would understand that those that are in the employ of the ANC, especially the organizing unit or organizing team, play a critical role in troubleshooting. Because you see, the new system is such that it gets to send an OTP, which you would get when you're transacting on there. So it's almost like you are transacting, but not with cash this time, but with membership. So it sends an OTP, and if you've got issues, you need someone in our own organizing division to assist with troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So, but they have been able to assist where they can, and we really understand the plight of those that are in the employ of the ANC, and we actually stand on their side. We have explained that the unfortunate situation that the ANC finds itself doesn't start now. It actually predates back even during the 2017 conference. There was already that kind of a statement put forward. I mean, Comrade Zweli did put forward that we are sitting with a debt bill of over 200 million.
Yeah.
Comrade Mashatile himself, as the sitting Treasurer General, has also spoken to those issues. So it is not an uncaring ANC. The ANC still cares about the welfare and plight of its workers.
It's just funny, isn't it, Pule, how, for instance, the contribution that the ruling party and some of its members, not all of them, of course, had to the collapse, basically, of Eskom, and now these salary disparities. Both those things, it's like you shot yourself in the foot. But moving to the point that you made earlier about the new secretaries at branch level, we understand that some of them are not really familiar with the membership system as well because they're new. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, there has been a number of efforts undertaken, reskilling our own branch secretaries, creating the necessary capacity, working with provincial secretaries' offices, as well as the regional secretaries' offices, throughout all the 53 regions where the ANC exists. And I must tell you that the level of adaptability from our own branch secretaries, it's quite encouraging. You know, so that you would have had a problem in the first week when you were starting with BGMs. As you move along, you start to realize that, oh, they now understand that, okay, instead of downloading on Google Play Store, I now have to actually go on Google Chrome. So you see, the ANC is modernizing. So we are getting our structures used to this, you know, conducting their meetings virtually. It's part of the fourth industrial revolution, you know. We are adapting to changing times.
And, you know, in previous years, obviously, you know, during BGMs, you'd hear stories about violence, you know, at these branch meetings or, you know, branch general meetings because of nominations, people not getting along. Have you heard anything pertaining to such behavior so far?
Well, not in our BGM, not
Okay.
where we have had an instance of our branch chair. We lost a branch. I think it's the deputy chair in KZN.
Yes, in KZN.
We have conveyed our condolences there, but it was not linked to a BGM. No,
But it was definitely after a political meeting.
They had a meeting.
Yeah.
So in all the BGMs that we have had up to so far, we haven't really experienced instances of violence. We have called on our members to really conduct themselves in a more exemplary manner. There is nothing to fight about in the ANC. The people out there need us to lead them. I mean, I was talking to some comrades of the ANC that we are spending a lot of time talking about the organization. We've got issues that we're talking about, issues of ESCOM, issues of PRASA, you know, because we are not just an organization by ourselves. We also occupy the seat of government in the Republic. So whatever we do also has got to be in sync with the needs of our own people so that we don't find ourselves stuck in BGMs. I mean, it means nothing. You can go to a BGM, get nominated, become a delegate, or be voted for. The people of South Africa are looking for jobs.
Yes.
They want...
And electricity.
They want a power utility that works and works for them.
Absolutely.
They want trains that are moving. You know, they want an economy that is very much alive with opportunities. That's what they want. Now, and this is what the message that we're trying to inculcate amongst our cadreship. That they've got to understand that it can no longer just be about ourselves and what we can achieve in our own branches.
You've got 2 years to prove this to us.
You know, we're already beginning to do that. The Letsema program that the president is undertaking, it was happening in the Northern Cape this past week, is part of those efforts.
The KISS program.
No, Masiko, no.
All right, let's
It was just an embrace of our people, happy to see the president around them.
Yeah. All right, so the ANC Youth League took a trip, right? Ukraine, Russia, and yesterday we were speaking to them. Who funded that trip?
Well, the ANC Youth League is best placed to address those issues.
Well, yesterday they said the TG would be able to tell us who funded the trip.
As you know, I'm not the TG.
Yes, you're not, but you're very close to him. You work together.
Well, I wouldn't know because we have not picked. If I knew,
tell me.
Yes, there's no reason for me. Because this looks like an issue of public interest, especially by the eNCA. So it looks like your viewers are very much interested in it because even last week it was raised here.
It just sort of, we're trying to understand, not just eNCA, I think everybody's trying to understand what was the purpose of that trip and does it show some kind of solidarity that the ANC has to Russia specifically. So we needed to call you, obviously, for clarification.
Maybe let's go on and say that the ANC subscribes to the notion of universal peace. We believe in that. We believe that nations of the world should be free, should be independent, their sovereignty should never be infringed upon. And where the ANC, and through its own structures, can play a role to facilitate that, we'll always do that. Of course, I mean, in the past we have expressed what the position of the ANC would be. I mean, we have got strong ties with Russia as an organization, you know, even as a former liberation movement, like we do in all other parts of Africa and throughout the diaspora. So we have always participated in, whether through solidarity, but in efforts towards consolidating universal peace. That's what we do all the time.
All right, Pule Mabe, thank you very much for coming to studio and for speaking to us, the national spokesperson of the African National Congress. All right,